You know what, Ronnie? Let me tell you
that?
something, bud. If it wasn't for music, I don't think my life would be as great as it is today.
Yeah. They say music soothes the soul, man. It's it's what I like to do with my, people. Got a lot of guys like to go hunting. Some guys like to, sports, everything else. I just play guitar.
Yeah. And how long have you had this place?
Well, this coming August will be 4 years.
Man.
So,
How long have you been in music?
oh gosh. Well, I'm 57 years old right now. Tell my age, but I really got into the guitar when I was 12, I guess. Right before high school. Yeah, that's, Van Halen 1 came out, and then I was like, okay, I got to figure out what he's doing, and I'm still trying to figure out what he was doing.
Right. I remember the very first day. But man, ever since then, I think it was back in 97 or 98.
Mm-hmm.
And then ever since then, I just enjoyed to just try to write music for myself. And I've never done anything with my music ever since then. Now, I do have a YouTube channel with my music, but I've never really done anything with my music. I tell you what, man, what the grateful thing about growing up is that having somebody that's pretty much your number one fan. Back in 2012, or I'm sorry, 2008, I was living in Dallas, Texas. He actually had all the monitors, the speaker monitors, floor monitors, everything, dude. He literally had everything from the bells to the whistles. For my birthday that year, I got to see my mom and my brother up there, my oldest brother. So I'm the youngest out of 4 siblings. So my mom and my brother got up there, drove up there to see me play, and it was the coolest thing ever. Obviously friends and everybody was there too. So the guy that hosted it gave me the opportunity to, see what it was like to play on stage. Even though I could have gone to an open mic night, but man, this meant a lot to me, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, I had a few drinks in, so I'm not gonna say
Some liquid courage.
Yeah, the liquid courage was what really drove me on the stage, man. So, yeah, dude, it's just, it was a very special moment.
Yeah,
and then
that's great.
4 years later, 2012. Sadly, my brother wasn't there this time. 2011, I lost my oldest brother, so it was just my mom and friends. Didn't stop me from having a good time.
Right.
Because I like to show people that what it feels like being alive, being happy, it's all about. And I try my best at doing that.
Right.
And and every time I remember the first day I walked into the store, is how it felt like playing that night. I was really happy, and it meant everything means a lot to me. So I did that, and that was the last time I've ever played on stage. All these years come by, and then sadly, I've told you the story. After I met you and your wife, y'all know about my trip that's going on, which is, dude, it's really risky.
Yeah, I know.
I've had a lot of people tell me that it was like, dude, are you sure you want to do something like that on a little scooter? Well, why not? I mean, who else would?
Yeah,
there's a few people that has actually done it. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely be praying for you because that's a long trip. You're gonna be on a long trip, so we'll make sure it's a safe trip. But it's got to be exciting doing something like that. I would love to do it. It'd be scary though, but hey man.
Hey man, more power to me, right? But every time I come into this little guitar shop of yours, it's like, it feels like home to me because so many memories that I've cherished throughout my life is all pretty much gathered with music. I mean, that's how it is with me though.
Right.
Music tells a story. The coolest thing about making music is that some things don't have to have lyrics in it.
Right.
The reason why is because if everybody is into, let's say, if you write a song or if I wrote a song, play the whole thing. Anybody listens to it. Every single one of them could either have something that's related or something for each of their own stories.
Right.
And that's what I love about it, and I've had people tell me that too. Like the one we're playing, you and I play together.
Yeah.
I've played that a couple of times over here. I played it a couple of times on my live stream, but I did not really get into wanting to write that until you actually joined me one day playing that tune.
Yeah.
And that's what made me strive. It's like, you know what, I really want to finish this because I do have another tune that I want to play when my trip's done with, but this actually makes more sense to do it now. And then when the last tune plays, when my trip is finally at its last leg, I think a lot of people actually understand about why this was actually really important to play.
Right. Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm happy. I'm proud to be part of it. So
yeah, and I'm, you know what? And just like I told you, I couldn't have asked anybody better, you know, because you and Christina has always been. I think y'all been treating me like family more and more every time I come by.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of, some people need that.
You know, a shop like this, we talk about it sometimes. It's like a barber shop. You know, you make friends with people that come in there, and you see them every so often. You know, and you know they become like family to you here. You know, you have different people, and we've got to meet a lot of cool people since we opened this shop, and you're one of them. So that's what's the cool thing about being in business like this. So.
Yeah. So what's the one thing that you cherish about this shop?
For one thing, what I do cherish about it is it's kind of like a business like this. It's your baby. You know, we didn't have a whole lot of help. So, you know, it's like when we opened it, we were just like, you know, it's now or never. Let's try something, and you know, you cherish it because it's yours. You know, and if we make it, we make it. It's a positive thing. If we don't, we fail, and it's on us. So I can't blame anybody else. So it's my baby. So.
Well, so I mean, is it true that failure always makes you better?
You learn from it. We've learned a lot since we've been here. You know, you learn what not to do, what to do, and you know, you're still gonna make mistakes. We're not human if you don't make mistakes. So yeah.
Right. The couple of times, when you asked me about, I think you asked me about if I was ready for this trip. You know, I mean, obviously I am ready. I waited 4 years for this. I mean, unfortunately, last year, with a little incident that happened to me, that made me wait another year. You know, when I had to wait, the much longer I had to wait, I think my anxiety really kicks in. And I haven't really, like, during my whole life, never had the experience of anxiety as long as other people have. And going through surgery, you've seen me, what I went through. You know, I think I deserve this.
Oh yeah,
I think so. I mean,
we all deserve something. I mean, you worked hard all your life, or the whole thing is we don't live but so long. So and it's like a bucket list thing. Do it. You do it before.
Yeah. So what do you think about? What did you think about? Because a lot of people didn't know. So what did you think about the Santa Claus?
Oh, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
That was it was a great December because you'd come in the shop and you were your Santa outfit on, and I was like, it was cool. It made December, it made Christmas pretty cool around here because everybody I'd get to different businesses around here, and they would say, "Have you seen Santa Claus on the scooter?" Like, yes, he comes to my shop. I know him personally.
What's so funny is that it's like I've actually ran into people when I was wearing the Santa Claus outfit, and people would tell me, it's like, "Man, I took a picture of you for my kids." It's like, "Yeah, where were you at?" It's like, "I was behind you, but it was the only place I could take a picture at." And they show me the picture, and they see this guy on a little scooter. But originally I didn't do it for anybody to. I really wasn't really caring about people if it was going to be a big issue.
You were just in the spirit.
I was just in the spirit because Mom's favorite holiday was Christmas, and it's always been mine.
Right.
it's all about showing what that spirit's like. You know, kind of like the way what we did today. You guys invited me to go to the church that you went to.
Right.
You know, I haven't been to a church in a while, but I think deep down I really needed it because I'm about to go on this big journey that, you know, it's really all about healing me.
Right. Yeah.
And, you know, I've had people ask me, well, what's the name Slow 49 about? Well, right now I'm just telling them that, well, the 49 is the size of the motor and as slow as me. but at the same time, I don't want anybody to know. I want everybody to find out by the time I get back.
Okay.
Because I believe that whatever that definition of my name is finally out to show the public what it's all about, what it means.
So you're not going to tell anybody about what Slow 49 means right now?
No.
Too?
Nope.
Okay.
The only reason why is because I just think it's fair for me to tell the story. The answers, I think people will actually start picking up the puzzles right about the third quarter way of the whole trip. The reason why is because I think there's going to be a couple of puzzle pieces that people might put together, and at the same time, they probably don't want to know until maybe it's end, because some people like to actually read the whole story. Some people just skim through books like, you know, pictures only. Sometimes pictures don't tell the story. You gotta have the description to what that image is, and that image can be anything. I mean, let's say this. What if, hey, look, here's a picture of a car just had a flat tire. How did it get the flat tire? There's multiple different ways. Ran over a nail, or just popped.
Right.
You don't
Different
know.
circumstances. Yeah.
I just think, you know, I know that's pretty simple, explanatory, but I just think it's much needed to apply for what I'm trying to do with this trip. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about, I don't know how long it's going to take me to go there to back. You know, it's like a 6,000 mile trip.
Yeah, think of how many miles that's going to be. A long ways.
But like I said, man, when I went to church, I just remember this one song that was played, saying something about losing the whole, you know, everything you've lost in your life. Losing everything in your life, but there's one thing that will make you feel rich again, and it's, you know, the faith, and it's all about, you know, what your heart carries you. I think the big thing about, you know, I was told by somebody that I should get a tattoo of my name. Now, I'm not talking about my name, my Slow 49 name, and put it on my chest, because the ribs is where the life is, where the heart.
Right.
Sounds like a good deal, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. I'll wait till after the trip.
Sounds like a painful deal.
This does sound like a painful deal.
Right over the ribs, yeah.
Yeah, so
skin's thin right there. Right?
Let me tell you about this one time. When I was a kid growing up, you know, I was involved in bicycle BMX racing. And I did it for 17. I think about 17 years. I can't really remember now. I just remember growing up. I don't know if I was ever, you know, I'm a kid. You know, I'm a kid, so I'm not really saying thank you all the time.
Right.
If my parents gave me the opportunity to race on two wheels on a small bike and travel all over the States and stuff like that, wouldn't it make sense for me to risk an opportunity to honor my mom on two wheels on a small bike?
Yeah, I think it's a good deal.
Yeah, because we were both planned on each getting one of those. So that way when I went to go visit her, we would still ride together.
Yeah.
Sadly, I never got that experience. And the one thing I never told a lot of people about is she had a 20 by 40 foot building next to her house. She wanted that to be her retirement home. I was living in upstate New York at the time, and she had this building since early 2020. I went to go visit her in April of 2021. I was proud. I was proud of Mom. She did the flooring, she did the cabinets, she did the walls. Now she had help with the electronics and the bed, the stand-in shower, then it was an electric water heater. But man,
where'd you learn to do all that stuff?
well, she said that she learned a lot of it from me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if that's just her telling me that, but I do remember helping her with the double doors. I helped her install 2 double doors in the house on that building, and I did had a family member that came over. Me and him put up a porch,
Mm-hmm.
and I never knew how to do it. You know, sadly enough, I haven't really talked to him at all ever since Mom's funeral. It doesn't mean that I have to hold back what I say. You know, he did a fantastic job. You know, he's an uncle
Mm-hmm.
from my mom's side. Really kind of hurts to say, you know, talk about it, because when she passed away, like, our blood family kind of went all over the place. And I try to keep everybody together, but there was a lot of disagreements. For the longest time, out of that whole family, it was just me, my sister, her family, and my dad talking.
Right.
And it's, you know, it's still kind of like that today.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully one day, I hope everything
Works out.
I really hope that one day that we can all just say, hey, look, can we put the past behind us?
Mm-hmm.
I'd really like to keep in touch and just...
Yeah, I hope that happens, because, you know, like I say, life's short, so, you know, hopefully everybody will kind of make amends on that.
Yeah, it's really hard to establish something really good if not everything is, I guess, in favor of supporting and not supporting, I guess.
Right.
I don't know if that makes any sense, because I mean, sometimes if I look in my face and I try to say something, it's like, yeah, you look like you have no idea what you're saying, dude.
Hey, I feel that way every day.
Yeah.
But, you know, we carry on, you know.
I want to know exactly, like, on your end, is what do people say about you that other people might tell you that they won't?
People say about me,
Anything positive?
you know,
Because we know there's 100% positive.
yeah, you know, I guess we actually have, I have somebody that lives here close to our store that's, I went to high school with, and she always said that, you know, Ronnie was just so humble and nice. You know, I think I'm a nice person, but you know,
Of course you are.
But I try. I want to be fair and nice to people, and I mean, it's just, you get up every day and you just want to have a good day. You want everybody to feel the same. You know, treat everybody the same. You know, so
Yeah.
it's like with the business and everything. You know, I love people coming in here, and a lot of people I wouldn't have met like you if I hadn't had this business. And that's, you were talking about what's something that's great about this business, or just having your own business, or anything like that. It's just the people you meet.
Yeah. You know what? And that's something I think you and I could relate on when it comes to people who meet. I mean, for what you do, you meet people in person.
Yeah.
Well, what I do, I meet people, you know, from YouTube.
Right.
But if something that I'm doing actually means to somebody, then that makes me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Same way with the Santa Claus thing. I really wanted to do it for myself. But then when the whole town was talking about it, I remember being not in my clothes. I was in regular clothes, and I was just...
You were famous in December around town.
I only had Santa Claus. Nobody
Santa
knows.
Claus.
Not everybody knows me. I remember that. Well, heck, I remember that restaurant over there, and I was just in there just to walk in for a second to pick up some food, and the whole place was completely packed.
Yeah.
And I just remember once I walked through, the place got quiet, okay? It got so quiet, everybody was looking to see what was at the door, and some people actually got on their feet. And I think it was like the longest 5 seconds ever, because I'm just looking around like this, you know, because I was actually paused. I was like,
It's like you heard the needle go across the record.
yeah. Well, that needle crossed the record. That needle actually got someone to say, "Merry Christmas, Santa." And as soon as I said that, I waved at everybody and said, "Merry Christmas." And the whole place just literally exploded. And
Then you had little kids lined up saying,
Oh,
Santa, I want this, I want that.
this family table had these kids, and they just came up to me and they just handed me something. It was you know, a few bucks. It's like, I didn't mean for that, but they came up to me and was like, we are very thankful that you did this.
Oh,
Just to walk in. It's like, you know what, I appreciate it. I'm not gonna say, I mean, is it right for me to say no? I can't, because I guess if the adults gave me the money, I'm assuming that I would probably tell them no, it's not necessary. But I think they purposely had their kids come up to me with the money.
you don't want to break their heart.
And I don't want to break their hearts. I don't. So, but I did. But I'll tell you what I did do is I did go to 2 houses for this family and deliver these presents to these houses for the kids to watch. And that was really cool. That was really cool. I actually asked them if it was okay if I could film it. I wouldn't film their house, like where the address or anything like that was. But I think in some part on this video, I may be able to show it while I'm talking about it.
Oh.
You know, the funny thing is that everything I do, I hear music in my head. I mean, everywhere I go, I can hear music, and then I can write it. I mean, you know that day when I was dressed as Santa playing that piano?
Oh, yeah. You came up with a tune there.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it.
Well, how many tunes have you come up with? Do you remember all of them, or you just,
No.
You don't? Yeah.
No, I can't tell you since 1998. Man. I can't count more than 5 now.
Oh, okay.
We're not 15, 20 years old anymore, man.
That's right.
I mean, we got to write it down on a piece of paper so that we, or collect a data sheet.
No.
Or else I just use my garage band. That's where a lot of my music is.
Right. Yeah.
I still don't remember it without looking at it. So
You don't have that moment where you're in bed and you're like, I got a great song in my head. I'll remember it in the morning. You wake up the next morning and you're like, man, I wish I'd have recorded that before.
Well, I think you and I have something in common. We tend to forget something for that split second. And then about 5 minutes later, after, it's like, you know what, I didn't even think about it, but that's what it was. But literally, you figure out what it is when you're not thinking about it. Once you think about it, your head's just got too much work. And it's like, I don't remember what that is.
Too much, yes, overloaded, yeah.
Yeah, so well, what do you think that this year is going to bring us?
I think this is going to be a year of prosperity. I think it's going to be, I think there's going to be a lot of great things happening in your life, my life. That's what I'm praying for, and new opportunities. Yeah, I wake up every morning and tell Christina, I was like, my wife, Christina, I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, hey, it's another day, a new day of opportunities. On that trip you're going on, you're probably going to run into a lot of cool opportunities.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of opportunities. I mean, pretty much, I mean, I'm not carrying everything that I have, or I'm not carrying the stuff that I wanted. I wanted a 360 camera, but I don't have that, but now I just got these wonderful little GoPros and a phone. But having this right here, sorry for the one camera, because I thought it was recording, but man, having you jam out with me for this was, I think, I'll call that an honor, because cause I've only known y'all, I've known y'all since when, July, I believe, and I just can't believe I mean, just 4 months away, it'll be a year, man. Can you believe that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, time flies, man, when you're, you know, when I was young, you wanted time to go by quick. Now I'm like, slow down a little bit, you know, because
yeah, it was all about being at 21 years of age. Yeah, I totally relate to that. You know, a lot of people would relate to it as well, because just thinking about it now, it's like, you know, 42. And how old did you say you were?
57.
Woo. This guy.
I've been around the world a couple times.
Yeah, but you're a little bit better shape than I am.
Yeah.
I gotta get back. I don't know. I did lose 14 pounds.
Yeah, that's great.
So,
yeah. Being in this business, I don't really get to walk around that much, so that's why I had to start going back to the gym. We do have a gym here because my old job, I got to walk a lot and get some exercise in that way, but now I don't really have that far to go in here. So, so you do what you can do.
Yeah. Why is it so important that music is something that people need?
Well, you know, with everything that goes on in everyone's life every day, you know, there's all different kinds of stresses, whether it's financial or just making it day to day, anything, you know, music, you know, it just gives you a time to kind of escape. You know, there's a song, maybe a favorite song you remember in high school, it takes you right back. You know, so music, that's one thing I look at music too, when I hear a good song maybe from the 80s, it takes me back to high school, so you remember good times.
Yeah.
When you didn't have so many responsibilities, and music just kind of takes you away from the whole everyday life. You know, just makes you feel good. You know, music can do everything. It can make you sad. It can make you happy. There's so many songs to choose. Or if you write, you can write whatever mood you're in. That's kind of how you're gonna write. You know, where it be.
So music actually is like a choice. It's like every song is like a different choice you make. Mm-hmm. Isn't that crazy?
I really think music is something we really need in life. I mean, how could you not go without some form of music?
I don't know. Ask the people that never lived through to see instruments back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they hum. Maybe they were humming a tune or something.
Maybe so. I mean, they probably could have. Yeah, man. I just, you know, when I go on this trip, I'm nervous. I
was going to ask you, you know, were you nervous about the trip, or you probably got music tunes to listen to because you're going to need that. You know?
Yeah, luckily my helmet's got the Bluetooth.
Right.
I got a little Cardo, what they call a Cardo X2, mm-hmm. But that's because you can Bluetooth with somebody else that has the Bluetooth on their helmet as well, so that way you can talk to them. Oh, that's cool. But the cool thing is, it is Bluetooth, and it'll connect to the phone. Mm-hmm. I can be able to listen to music and stuff like that. And then if I make phone calls, people can't really hear the wind or the scooter. They can actually hear me. Oh. It's fine. And so I don't have to drive. So, I mean, I could drive hands-free, so I'm good with that.
I know you called me earlier, and I guess you were riding. I couldn't hear.
You couldn't tell?
Yeah, I thought maybe you stopped somewhere to call.
No, man, that technology is
that's pretty cool.
Really gone a long way, and you know, it's just, you know, a couple people I cannot wait to see. You know, like one of them, you know, my friend's in Louisiana, mm-hmm. and I call her my aunt. You know, she's not blood related, but I've known him since I was a kid from BMX racing. Can't wait to see him. I like to see my first cousin. He lives out in Texas, along with another friend. You know, I'm probably starting to talk a little bit about my trip more than I want to, but you know, it's just.
What do you expect? What's your expectations on the trip as far as any kind of special thing that you want to do along the way, or?
Well, I know that a lot of parts of the trip is that if I see anything that reminds me back of the day, then I'm going to talk about. I'll say a little story here and there about it.
Right.
I mean, some of the things I'll do is pretty much what I did as a kid growing up with my family, and I think that it's really important for me to do that because I'm the kind of guy that usually likes to keep everything to myself. Yeah, well, that's how I've been for the last, I don't know how many years. But I think that the way how I lost Mom, it's really important for me to actually share this world of mine, because I think it's one of the things that's going to actually heal me. Because even right now, I'm not fully healed from it. But I'm always smiling because I'm always happy. Mm-hmm. But deep down in my heart, I gotta do this. I need to do this because if something like this is what's killing me, I don't, you know, not intentionally, but emotionally, mentally, it's important that I do this.
Right.
There will be places that I'll go to and I'll stay at that, you know. I mean, I was wanting to go to Colorado, but I'm not gonna go through there. Maybe parts of it, but I don't want to climb. I don't want to climb over mountains or anything like that. So I'm pretty much going around it. But another cool thing about my expectation of this trip is when I get to Kansas, I get to see my sister. You know, I haven't seen my sister in, I think, 3 years. And the one thing I can't wait for is that, give you a little story behind this, is that every time I cross a river, I think on the screen it's gonna say river, like just out of nowhere. The reason why is because my nephew, my sister's son, who came out of a 4-year addiction, finally chose for a better living, a better life. Now he's with somebody that makes him really happy, and they have a daughter now who you can't deny that's my sister's genetics. And mom saw her, she would eat that baby alive. She would spoil that, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to spoil that kid.
All right.
And the reason why by every river that I cross over is because the little girl's name is River.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was like, when they told me that name, it's like, oh my God, that is so awesome, you know? I was wanting to try to get my dad there as well, because I'm planning on being over there at least by April the 16th in Kansas. Because my dad's birthday is 18th. But I don't think he's going to be able to make it up. But a lot of my intentions for this trip, the main intention is to go to my mom's grave. I'm going to do something really cool, a video edit off that. I think at some point that I'm finally going to say, I forgive you, or I can't come, she didn't do anything to me that hurt me. It's just that I think I'm just finally moving forward after all this. But if I can't do this, what's the point of me moving forward? I mean, you can move forward for anything, but to me, it's like, just like everybody else, it's like, I need to do this. And, you know, call me crazy, but I like being crazy, so.
Well, you know, this trip, you know, we were talking about expectations, you know, you're hoping that this is going to heal you, and you know, I hope it does. I hope it.
Yeah, I really hope it does too, man.
It fills that void or whatever that you need, and you can kind of move on, because there's a lot of life in front of you. You're getting ready to see a lot of it.
Yeah,
you're getting ready to see a lot of it, a lot of mileage.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. So it's pretty crazy. I got a starting point and an ending point of the trip.
Yeah.
Right down the road.
Yeah.
I would ask if you want to walk over there, but there's too many people over there.
Yeah.
But this is good enough. But I think it's best for me not to let people know that I'm going to be back. If the locals see my YouTube channel and they see that I'm back, it's like, I think the best thing for me to do is end my trip alone, you know?
Right.
Because I'm really not all about having people around me when it comes to that.
Right.
If it's something, I mean, it's nice. Because I've had people tell me, it's like, dude, you know, Santa Claus, like, hey, you want to do this? You can have a bunch of people and all this. Well, yeah, that's nice. I mean, that's a different cause. This one, I think I just need to have that room to finally exhale the air that I've been wanting to exhale since 4 years ago.
Right.
And maybe I just want to sit there and just sit there for a while. I don't know how that's gonna go, so we'll see what happens. So anyway, but man, Ronnie, I just want to say that you and Christina have been awesome people. Y'all been really, really awesome.
Yeah.
And
Brandon, you're a great friend. I'm glad we got to meet, and wish you well on your journey, and happy, safe travels. And
man, heck yeah, dude. I'll definitely be looking into jamming out again.
Yeah, man, I enjoy it. Man.
Yeah, I do too. I didn't know that this guy can really correspond really quickly.
He's got some chops. He does. Yeah. I've heard him play quite a bit in their shop. So yeah, you got.
Yeah, I've done a couple of live streams in here.
Yeah,
and people.
I've heard you play quite a few. You got to play with quite a few people. Even one of our employees in here. You got to jam out with him.
Oh yeah, Braden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, which is it's great. You know, that's the thing about this shop. You know, it's just people come in here and you get to meet people and you get to play music with them and find out more about them, and then you end up becoming friends. And,
yeah. You know what, man? It's just I don't know everything. I just feel honored to be a part of friendship with you and Christina and Braden and everybody else here, especially Steve.
Oh yeah.
Remember that day he accidentally called me. It's like, hey, like Steve, what'd you need, bud? It's like, oh, I accidentally pocket dialed you. I was like, well, you could have just let me know, not wait later. But I thought you needed something. It's like, okay, well maybe I'll just ask him later. So.
Yeah. Well, Steve's a good one. He's a card. That's what I say. He's a good one. Steve's been around. He's not giving his age away, but he's played a lot of music and been around with a lot of great musicians and stuff. So he's a good one. We're very fortunate to have him teaching here. So
yeah. I think I told him. I think I asked him one day that I wanted him to teach me how to sing.
Oh really? Yeah.
I think, but I don't remember if I was actually being generous or if I was just being a smart one. So if I was just playing a joke, but
yeah, he does vocal lessons, and I think Braden's going to take vocal lessons for some reason.
Well, maybe when I get back, I'll talk to Steve.
Yeah.
But we definitely need to jam again. There
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that tune we only like we've only practiced it. I mean, it wasn't perfect.
That was just one time. No, I'm just kidding.
That was just one time. But but I mean, we weren't perfect, but imperfection to me is perfect.
Right. Yeah.
It's just that time of honor, being honored about it. So.
Oh yeah.
And obviously, sorry guys, you're not going to get the other angle where it shows him right over there because that was my fault. I thought I pressed record. But
y'all don't want to see me anyway.
Oh, well, too bad you got that one right there, man.
I'm here.
And you got that one, so it does probably see your microphone.
Oh.
It may see you strumming and all that good stuff. So, but man, Ronnie, thank you so much.
Oh yeah.
I consider you all as family, dude.
Yeah, me too, man. Great to have you, and like I said, wish you well on your trip.
Yeah.
Safe travels.
let's pray that I make this trip in one piece.
We'll do it. We'll be praying for you, brother.
We'll do it, man.
All right.
All right, guys. Throw that peace sign. You know, throw that peace sign.
All right.
All right, guys, we are out. Brandon, Slow 49. We are out. Thank you again, Ronnie, for everything.
Thanks for having me.
And we will call it a day, and you guys take care. And I love you. Thank you. And see you later. Peace.